that I love you more than I can show. Most of my feelings are pushed down below. Call up your savior and tell him I'm cold, 'cause this world is a strange place to live. Know that I love you more than I can say. These arms wanna hold you, but I push you away. Ask how I'm doing and I'll say I'm okay, but the truth is I'm caving in, 'cause this world's a strange place to live. See, I get a bit overwhelmed with the noise around me. I was told there was hope here if I came with a dream, but this world is a strange place to live. Know that I love you more than I act, but the weight of this world, well, it's breaking my back, and I'll fight to my death if it'll prove to you that the good guys will maybe still win. No, don't you ever give in, though this world's a strange place to live. Know that I love you more than you can know. I may have to leave here, but I won't let you go.
What is up, everybody? I am so sorry, but the sound on this clip got totally destroyed by the wind. This is like a 16 or so month review of the van. Wanted to show you kind of what I have changed on it. The sound will go back to normal here shortly. But yeah, just these opening clips outside of the van are going to be voiceovers. I'm sorry, it's cheesy as heck, but enjoy. Right, so I recently redid the headlights and the tail lights. I did LED lights front and rear. They are like Amazon lights. I'm probably less than $200 for the front and the rear. Right when I got the vehicle, I did a lift. So the front is a torsion bar lift, as well as new struts. So I did struts and a torsion bar lift up front. And then the rear is a couple of added leaves and a new shackle. So had to get some stuff actually welded on these, and then I threw wheels and tires, and this is about as big of a wheel and tire as you're ever going to get on this, but it stabilizes it so much. Overall lift height now I think is something like 5 inches over stock, maybe close to 6. These are the taillights, also the LEDs, and they have sequential blinkers, so they're pretty sweet. So I did the Dometic RTX 2000. It's kind of the smallest, best footprint, highest efficiency thing I could find for the roof. I did 2 200-watt Renogy solar panels, non-flexible. They're just fixed, and custom racks. Now that we've seen that, let's go ahead and do the walk around, and let's head in. All right, so this is the dash cam I installed. This is a mount for like an iPad, but I never use it. This is powered quad lock. Quad locks are so much better than RAM mounts. If you want to fight me on that, you can. I did RAM mounts on motorcycles. They are garbage. I don't know why people love them. They vibrate. They're terrible. And they don't hold that well. So I did a quad lock mount with power on it. It doesn't power that well, to be honest. But if you're running your GPS and you're going to be on a long day, then it charges it just slowly. Other than that, this screen was in and out. It kind of never worked, and now it just doesn't work. One thing that I really love is this cover. This cover is awesome. It lets you just break yourself away from the front cab. Also, something that's been really nice about it is it holds the heat in. One thing is when we're talking about the sleep situation, you've got the dinette that folds out, and then you can use that dinette as a bed. You can also sleep up here. And let's go through the pros and cons of both. So this, as you can see, obviously very easy to get in and out of, or set up, I guess I should say. It pulls out, you know, and you get this full shape there, right? It's pretty awesome. So you can fold that out. It gives you a huge bed. It's like 5 by 6 feet. I love sleeping up here, and here's why. It is so flat. You cannot get the flatness that you get out of that, out of the dinette. In the future, I'm thinking about maybe reupholstering the dinette, and when we do that, we can go through the different pads, and we can try and figure out a way to make that better. The big downfall, sleeping up here, is it gets so cold. I had some nights in Canada where I was freezing. I had to wear like all of my clothes, even with the heater running. Granted, it got to -30 during that trip, Fahrenheit, but it gets really cold. You've just got a thin layer of fiberglass above you. You end up with everything on your toes that you can have on your toes. It gets cold. Even these windows on the side, they get so cold at night. But I do like that you can look out those windows. I like how flat it is. Honestly, just about every benefit of sleeping up here is worth it. Hardest things I would say is the temperature, which would be nice, I guess, on a summer night maybe. So temperature. The other thing that's really tough up here is when you have to pee. When you have to pee, you have to climb all the way down. And then the final thing, not that I'm like a super short guy, I'm 5'11". It takes some work to climb in and out of this thing. I usually prop up one of the dinette chairs so that I can step off of it into here. And I can't even imagine sleeping 2 people up here. It'd be very difficult if either of you had to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night or move, or you like to roll, or you like whatever. I don't get claustrophobic, and I do fairly, I don't know, I am not like a big worming kind of spelunking dude. So I don't love being in tight spaces. I really don't get that from here. I never use this, but it's also been so cold that it hasn't made sense to use this vent. I'm thinking about installing the Starlink though right here, or putting it maybe right here with access right there, and that. So as far as what changes up top, zero. Have not changed anything other than just trying to keep it clean. Other than that, it's been pretty good. So up here, I would give it a rating. Let's start giving things ratings in this video. Perceived rating. What did I think this would be when I got it up top? I thought it'd be like a 10 out of 10. I'll give it like a 7.5. Let's give it a 7.5. Pretty good. It's hard to get into. It's hard to get out of to pee. And for 2 people, I can't even imagine it'd be difficult. The other thing is the heat. So all of those things combined, I'm going to give it like a 7.5 out of 10 sleeping up here, where I would give the dinette, honestly, like a 5.5. Let's go 5.5 on the dinette, and I'll walk you through what I like and don't like about that as well. All right, let's talk about decor. You can see this is basically everything in here that is decor. So you can see I've got just rugs in place right now just to keep it clean in here. I am planning on redoing the floors still. I have not. But let's talk about everything we see right here. Right there is the diesel heater. This is amazing. It saved my life. It kept me alive in Canada. I don't know how to say anything else about it. That is what it did. Here is what's wrong with this, and if you are buying one of these, I would say definitely look into it. It is wired to the truck battery, not the house battery. So if you use this all night, you might not start your car in the morning. There were a lot of nights where I was stuck with that, and I just would let the car run, and I would idle it for hours because I did not want to get stuck in Canada without a battery. Other than that, it's been pretty good. The space in here, pretty good. I keep a, and we'll go through it. I've got a Blue Yeti power station that I keep in here, and some other cables and things, jump start, like a start box, and that. So it's a lot of space in there. I actually, and if you have one of these and you know what this button does here, it's a cut, but I don't know what it cuts because I've flipped that switch on and off and I've never seen it do anything. The green one's obvious. This one I do not know. So if anybody knows, leave it in the comments below. The final thing I'll talk about on this door, I bought these, and I'll put it in the link or in the description of the video. These are shoe holders, and they are amazing. When we do kind of the packing and gear review, then we can jump into that. But yeah, overall storage has been pretty good. I've got a bunch of cool stickers, like I mentioned, on the door from places I've been, and some of the experiences. So everything from Mike McGill's skate shop to the RWB build, Akira Nakai rode in this van with me. Group 6, I did some, I went to 503 Motoring and met those guys there at an event. Met Moscow Moto guys. I drove this to Niagara Falls, as you guys all know. San Diego, hung out with Bucky. There's a Lasik, oh yeah, the Lasik sticker's up here. Lasik sticker, right there. And that went to Toronto. I mean, I've been basically everywhere in the van now in Canada and between Brooklyn and here. So yeah, we've got that. Let's do our very best now to just kind of do a little walk around in here. Let's talk about first this. I work out of the van, so I installed, this is a Samsung Smart Monitor. What that means is that I don't have to have an Apple TV hook up to it or anything. As long as this has internet, I can use it as a TV with stations and Netflix and whatever, but I can also use it as my computer monitor, which is kind of the primary purpose. So yeah, I've got that. I just mounted it to the wall. I did drill through the wall the first time. I fixed it when I redid the whole bathroom. We'll get to that and that. But this has been perfect. It's the perfect size. It's a 27-inch. Don't just buy the biggest thing you can afford, measure and make sure, because the way this fits in here for me is absolutely perfect. I wouldn't go any bigger than that. It's a 27-inch widescreen. I forget what they call these. I will leave it in the notes below in the description. That has been amazing in that. So let's talk about these, the cabinets. There is so much space in here, especially if you're traveling alone. I've absolutely loved it. It's as much space as you would imagine it should be. It probably goes back like 6-7 inches, and it's a good foot tall, maybe 14 inches. And this is all one continuous piece, so you can put everything you want in there. Works really well. This is more for like daily things. We're gonna figure out how to repack it before we go to South America anyway, but this is more of like daily goods and whatnot. Now when we look over here, these ones are going to be more like kitchen and maybe like toiletries. So I think I have to figure it out. Again, this one's a little bit smaller and this one does not connect to these. But I think I'm going to end up with like toiletries in this first one, probably kitchen stuff in this one, and that. So how would I rate the, well, let's go back. We need to rate some things, right? I showed you the monitor and I showed you the cabinet. So let's rate these. The monitor, I'm going to give that monitor like an 8.5 out of 10. It works really well. It's a little bit slow because it's like a smart TV. I've never had a smart TV be as fast as like a, it's never been as fast as, let's say, like a Apple TV, right? Apple TV's interface is fast. This works great though. It does have a hard time finding internet every now and then. So I'm going to give it like an 8.5. In that. You also have storage down here in this seat, which I guess is a little off frame there. Anyway, you've got this storage below. I almost don't even use it. It's full of like guitar cables and stuff. So that is pretty good. So I'm about 5'11". I've got no shoes on. I'm standing straight. I've got a solid, like, I don't know, 5-6 inches above my head. So plenty of room to walk around in here, and that. And something, as we get on to the next topic, so we've talked about storage, we've talked about the screen, and that. All right, so let's talk about what we've got up here. This, my friends, this is the Dometic RTX 2000. When I was looking, I was not sure because this is such a small space on what to get. And I researched and read, and everybody's like, yeah, get the 1200, they're fine. Maybe they're fine, but after extensive research, and I called them, it sounds like that's more of a unit that you'd use on like the front cab of a 18-wheeler. So anyway, I got this, and here's what's amazing about the solar arrays. So again, 400 watts of solar on the top, and we've got a 400 amp hour lithium phosphate battery. When the sun is up and the panels are clean, in fact, I've never cleaned them. So when the sun is up and the panels are whatever they are right now, I can run this at full blast. It does not touch the battery at all. I don't know if it's an efficiency only thing. I don't know enough to get into it. My friend Nomad Brad will probably jump in the comments and tell us. But this is incredible. It was expensive. It's expensive to get the full surround kit, the wiring, and it's hard to put the wiring in a pre-built RV. It is hard to wire. It was difficult to get the wires in and make it clean. But I will say right now, it is 100% worth it. I've used it on some warm days. The biggest flaw that it has, especially in a space this small, is it's pretty loud. So when your AC is running, you definitely hear it. I took a few meetings on the beach in San Diego, just like parked at Torrey Pines, and this thing was buzzing in every background, but it keeps it chilly in here. Like to the point you're turning it down. Even on like 100-degree day, I was turning it down. Part of that is the RV is insulated well. Part of that is it just blasts. So this, with the 400 watts of solar that I have not had one problem. It has not touched the battery at all, not once, when during the day. It's a different story on a gloomy day, but it's also not as hot on a gloomy day. But what I still struggle with, I guess, is at nighttime. But I haven't had it use up the battery through the night either. But I also don't run it at full blast at night. So anyway, this I would give like a 9.5 out of 10. If it was quieter, it would be perfect. But it's slimline, as you saw above. It's highly efficient. It doesn't take very much space on the roof. Space was a huge consideration for me when I was choosing which one to use. When you have an RV this small, you have to like spend extra money because you need smaller footprint, more efficiency, less weight. Just unloading this from my last trip to clean it and get ready for going to South America, it blows my mind how much faster this thing is when I'm not when it's not filled up. It has the weight on this has a huge impact on how well the car runs. So anyway, Dometic RTX 2000, buy one. I'd highly recommend it. Do that. All right, can we talk about these windows? Let's talk about them. Here's the problem. These windows are so cool on paper. You've got the built-in screen. You've got the built-in nightshade so that you can have all of the privacy. So cool. And, as we know from just seeing this car and my other video, just a reminder, that pops out and you have all that access. Everything about them is really cool. Buyer beware when you are buying one of these. These things are plastic and thin aluminum and old materials. I will tell you right now, they get stuck a lot. If it's too cold outside, they do not roll up. People push on them when people come in here. I've had so many people like want to open them or mess with them and they end up breaking them, so I've had to fix them. And that. Do I love them? Yes. Would they be amazing brand new? Yes. So just if you're buying one of these, you're importing it, you're doing whatever, be very careful about the condition of things like the windows, because this is hard to replace, it's hard to find. And so like when these stop working, I don't know what to do. I'll probably try and see if I can just get a similar size, but they're difficult and they don't all wind up right. Let's see how it's doing. That's actually working well. It's warm today. This one, same thing. So I guess on camera it's gonna work perfect today, but they do require some adjustment. Okay, so down here you've got your 5-gallon water. Let's talk about the problems with this, what's good, what's bad, what's not. I need to look and find a new one. I think this plastic's starting to get bad. I don't drink the water that comes out of here. I wash my dishes and I wash my hands and that kind of thing with that water. I do not drink that water. The pump is not like the most amazing pump. It's an in-tank pump that's just on the end of that hose. I would like a different solution, but it's simple enough. I think it's okay in that, but you be the judge. For me, the water system in here, I'm gonna give it like a 5. I think it could be better. I just don't like the pump. The water in that thing gets frozen. And it's tough because that's the only water in the van. So when you are like thinking about winterizing, you're like, I don't know if I really need to winterize, because you have one pipe going out of that and then dropping. When I was in Erst in Canada, in Ontario, when I broke down the first time, I had to leave this at the shop, right? And while it was at the shop, everything froze, like everything. The faucet, which I'll show you in a second, got water in it, expanded, broke. The pipes froze. I had like a sheet of ice in here. The water in that was frozen solid. It was like, I think that's the point when it was like -30 on my trip. That water, it's just tough because it's going to get cold. Even today, it's like 50 degrees out and there's still ice in there from just it being cold last week. So good thing is, I guess it stays cold and insulated, but bad thing is when that freezes up, it kind of stinks because your whole tank is, your pump and everything's like in ice. So other than that, though, honestly, it's been pretty good. It has worked pretty well for me, and I've been mostly happy, so maybe I should give it a higher rating. Let's give the water system a 7, but no water pressure. There is no water pressure in this vehicle. And you're probably thinking, wait, that's all the water. I thought you have a shower. I do have a shower. I guess I'm not going to show it in this video because it's a piece of equipment. It's like an add-on that does not stay in there full time. The dinette, honestly, has been perfect. I get nervous about some of these parts breaking and stuff, just because how would you replace them? The dinette is not great as a bed, but it works fine this way. I like the space it takes. Mine looks pretty modern, so I don't want to reupholster it yet, but that is probably coming after this trip. As we're on the topic, though, every cup holder in this thing is way too small for anything. Like, it's like the size of like a can of soda. That's what'll fit in there, but no cups or anything fit in them. Even like normal drinking water cups that do not work. So anyway, dinette, I'm going to give it like a 6 out of 10, like a 9 out of 10 for functionality, but the padding and stuff is a little bit worn. I've actually restuffed these as well. They've got memory foam. Do not use memory foam. When it's cold, it just gets hard, and I didn't think about it. So that's where that is. Let's keep going back. Okay, so I talked about this. I will put a link to this in the description. This is just a folding faucet. For whatever reason, the switch right here doesn't work, so you just leave it. It doesn't do anything. I've checked the power to it and everything. It does not work. That switch does not work. This one does. It gets the job done. It's fine. I keep thinking about using that Tech Van insert to do a new sink, but I would have to cut back into here. And for right now, my dishes have not been so bad that this hasn't worked. So this sink has been fine. Lighting. This lighting is not great. It works. You really just have these 3 lights. That's all I've been using. It's okay because I'm usually in like a chill mood at night, and I don't like, there's nothing I need light for that these won't do. But I would like to modernize the lighting. I do have an LED strip up here, but the battery thing it came with is horrific, so I have not used it. Here is the inverter. I did the Renogy. I bought a bunch of Renogy stuff. It seems to be working fine. As you can see, I've also got I forget what Google's brand is, but you've got these little Google cameras. They've been fine if you have internet. As you can see, I've got my Starlink router stuff down here, power strip, and that. Actually, most of the power that I do in here is just in that strip, because basic cables will reach everywhere from there. All right, so what was bad is that I had this window cracked, and it completely filled the whole thing with diesel smoke. And so even today, I've been cleaning it before this next trip. That was last May, and I'm still cleaning diesel smoke out of here. So anyway, the windows are good. I don't know. So this is the NovaCool R1200. It's 1.2 cubic feet, I believe. It's like 34 liters. It's a single door, high efficiency fridge. So what's crazy about this fridge is that as long as you've got the sun up, I can run the AC and this fridge and the TV does not touch the battery. Could be an anomaly. Maybe I'm lying. I'm not lying. But it's amazing. So the R1200, it is a little bit on the expensive side. It looks nice. It fits, but it's like, it fits the best. If you have this same layout in your van, in your Delica JB470, this is the one to get. The R1200, I promise, not sponsored. Super efficient, small, fits perfect. It's AC and DC, so you've got both options. And it keeps everything very cold, so I've been super happy with it. You will be too, maybe? I don't know. I am. Let's talk about the storage space up here. Honestly, it's like my elbow to my arm, or my elbow to my fist, so like 16 inches. That's my guess. You're 16 inches deep, probably 20 inches tall, and I can fit a heck of a lot of stuff in there. I will be, and we're going to go through equipment, putting like my stove up here, I think, too. I don't stock up for like months to go in here. I also don't eat a lot, which is crazy because I'm not skinny. So this, though, I would say it's great. I would say 10 out of 10 for storage, for food storage. And you can put all your other stuff in different cabinets. But if you're talking about just food, between this fridge and this storage space, you're golden. You are golden, or just go eat out. So the final thing I kind of wanted to show you is the bathroom. Unfortunately, this is all, that yellowing is not dirt. That is just something that happened, like a reaction between the paint and the clear bed liner that I used. I think I used the Rust-Oleum brand. And then also I've got the TechVan floor insert. Something I have noticed, all of that bamboo is separating, and it has not even had very much water on it. Like, I don't shower with that in. I take that out and move it and use the pan below it. So just moisture in the air and everything else, I'm actually pretty disappointed at how that has stood up compared to the piece of IKEA shelving that I cut to fit this gap here. But we added that as well. It's actually a pretty awesome little shower space. I normally, when I'm not using it, there is a toilet. That's something I mentioned is missing. We'll go through it in the gear guide on the next video. But you can easily stand up in here. I normally just hang up my jackets and clothes that I'm not using. When I'm not using the shower, I just hang them here and that. But yeah, it's been pretty good. It's vented for the toilet. The TechVan floor insert's great. I just don't like the bamboo cover that they have. And then the other thing I probably need to do is actually seal this instead of using just this 30-year-old foam. I need to just put some rubber in. So other than that, that's about it. So just like that, welcome to my home. It's kind of like it's like seeing the model home right now. You've got furniture, but you don't have all the goodies in here. We will do a packing and equipment list video here in the near future as I'm getting ready to go south and that. So I've been really happy with this van. If you're thinking about buying one, definitely buy one. They're a little bit expensive for what they are, and they are so slow. I'm talking to a company in California right now about doing a motor swap. So I have replaced the manifold. I have replaced the turbo. I've replaced belts. Let's talk about that actually for a minute. What have I had to replace since I bought this? The first thing that went out was a Harmonic Balancer and all the belts that are attached to it. So I lost that. That was a thing that I had to deal with in negative 30 degrees. I lost the clutch master cylinder and the clutch slave cylinder. So I lost both of those. So those have had to be replaced. If you're buying one of these, you can go through everything you want to go through and you're still going to have issues. It's an old car. It's got old rubber on it. This one is low miles and I still have had some issues. I changed out my headlights. I changed out my taillights because I had a taillight go out. The reverse switch went out and I still can't find one that works for it. I have ordered 3 and none of them have worked. So I just don't have a reverse light, which I don't care that much. What else has gone out? Oh, the brakes. Brakes are hard. The big thing that you'll run into is you're going to look for L300 parts, and like half the L300 parts do not fit this truck. They have unique, like the brakes are not L300 brakes. They're different. So I would say definitely it is worth ordering the right stuff and paying extra. And Rising Sun, those guys have it. So they do not sponsor me. They took care of me a lot while I was in Canada 3 times. So even just helping me get part numbers so I could look for equivalent stateside or in Canada which was super helpful. So things I would say as we're summing this up, what do I love about it? The compact size. It's 3 feet shorter than a 144 Sprinter. I can drive it like anywhere. Off-road, it does amazing. Highway, it sucks. Honestly, this thing sucks on the highway, especially when it's full of stuff. So if you're thinking about this for like a highway vehicle, think again. It's not great. It'll be really good for South America because there are open stretches where you're going really fast, but then you get places like Guatemala, you're not going fast at all. This will be perfect there. Mexico is going to be a little bit dicey because I remember when I crossed Mexico before, you could be going 100 miles an hour for like 10 hours and you'd see no one. So those days are going to be tough. I love the security of this. I like having the windows that I can have, you know, full shades and everything. That's cool. I just like that it's easy to clean. It's small. It's simple. Fairly easy to work on. Oil changes are easy. Air filters easy. That kind of stuff. Predicting spares is tough. I love the solar. I would do it again and again. I am so happy. And you'll see on the gear, I've actually got a separate solar setup also in case that one fails or I need more power. So we'll talk about all the gear in the next video. I'm stoked on this one. I didn't walk around and open it, but I will just mention that I've got a like an Amazon brand that I found. It's a single 400 amp hour lithium phosphate battery in here, which is the same size as any of the Renogy 200 amp hours that were available when I was looking. So I went with this because it was the same footprint, but it was 400 in that, which I thought was amazing. The truck battery is still that same one that I bought at the one that I bought in Galveston when I got this off the truck and off the boat, and the battery was horrible. So it's not a Duralast, an Optima. It's got a red top Optima. It's been okay. I wouldn't say it's like anything to write home about because I have had some rough starts and that thing drained. So if you're buying one of these, send me a message, ask me questions, buy one, buy this one. I don't know. It's not for sale yet. I need it. Things I would change right away. I don't know. Everything. I don't know. Just change it as you need it. I love the lift on it. I love the wheels. I love the capability. I just hate how slow it is. The slow and the diesel. If they made these so we're not diesel, I'd be so much happier. I just need a little bit more power, and I cannot stand the fact that I had one thing go wrong and this thing was full of diesel smoke, and diesel smoke, again, very hard to get out. So other than that, it's been great. You get a lot of looks. People talk to you about it all the time. Everybody's got a buddy who knows a guy who has a thing that's just like yours, and you're going to hear that a lot. But yeah, diesel heater's cool. Rewire it, wire it to the house battery. Carry extra diesel. Oh, the fuel economy sucks. It's good, I guess, but it's really not that good. I get like 15 miles a gallon probably. But where your fuel tank is so small on this, you're going like 250 maybe kilometers on a fuel per fill up. So I have to pull over a lot. Other than that, yeah, it's pretty awesome. I mean, really the value's there. I'm in it more than most people are into these probably right now, just because everything's expensive. That is super expensive. The fridge was expensive. The wheels were expensive. The suspension was okay. Everything I've spent is expensive, but it's all been worth it. It's been stuff that makes my life easier and makes it so that I can focus. The Starlink is amazing, but I would recommend a flat roof mount. People say that they do not hurt the performance of the Starlink satellite. I've just had it mounted at the top of the ladder, in that. So I don't know. It's hard to get up to the top of the ladder to do that. So I would definitely just permanently mounted on the roof. Anyway, that's my review. That's we're more like 16 months into this now. We've done some crazy trips, and we're gonna do more crazy trips, so stick around.